Hi everyone, this is Todd with the Prepper website, and welcome to another edition of Commentary and Stuff, raw, unedited, and with a lot of ums. Let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Camping Survival. They are a sponsor of the website, a very good friend of the website, and involved in some of the other projects that I have going on. Recently, I've purchased one of these spools of 1,000 feet paracord, and I was very happy with the purchase. When we went up to our place, we needed some cordage. It was no big deal, just cutting off a piece that I needed, and didn't feel like I was using it up. It was just so much there, but it's such a great deal. I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy a couple more spools. So go ahead and go over to Camping Survival, say hi, let them know that you're coming from Prepper website. They also have a very active Facebook page, and man, they're on there. People are asking questions, people are answering, so it's something you want to check out. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Over at Preparedness Advice blog, there's an article entitled "Learn How to Use Your Own Build." I think it's built-in night vision is what he was trying to say there. But one of the things I think is that he mentions that a lot of people talk about needing night vision, but it's very expensive, and there's a lot of things to consider with that. I know it's something that's priced out of my range, but you can use your own God-given night vision. There's some things that you can do to adapt, right? So talk about adapting at night. Scanning. One of the things I thought was cool is at night, you must use your eyes in short, jerky, abrupt movements to where you can locate your objective. And then off-center vision. The idea is that if you look a little bit off to the side, that you'll be able to focus on your object or your objective a little bit better. So it's something to check out, and something that you want to you definitely start practicing now. Also, the basic idea of not using your white light, your white flashlight. If you're going to use a light at night, use it with a red lens. All right, go check that out. Amy over at Homestead Revival, I love this site because it was one of the first ones that I started hitting when I got into preparedness. I don't know how I got to it, but it was one of the first ones. And she has an article I thought was pretty good on why you should shun cheap groceries. And she talks about how lucky, well, not how lucky we are. She's trying to tell you to not to get into cheap groceries, to think this through a little bit more. But at the turn of the 20th century, most families were paying 43% of their income for food, and now with GMOs and pesticides and big farming out there, it's a lot cheaper at this day and age. We're paying 11 to 19%, so that's a big change. And we've gotten very used to cheap food, and we've become dependent on it. You can go into any grocery store at any time of the year and buy bananas, shipped from somewhere. So she talks a little bit about that. She goes into wanting to support one of the local honey farms, and when she got out and she started asking questions, I mean, don't assume that because they're on the side of the road or they're at the farmers market that they are local. This guy had honey, and it was coming in from over 135 miles away. And then when she started pressing them on, are they using pesticides or anything, or is it organic? The guy couldn't answer it, and basically, he was, you can't really raise bees without treating. And the thing is that she does her own bees, right? So she knows a little bit about what's going on there. What I like about Amy is she tells you in simple bullet points why is she addressing this, something that she's addressed before, but why is she addressing it again? And I think it's something that we all need to pay attention to. Um, we are fragile. We are a fragile society because with our just-in-time marketing and just-in-time groceries, it's a scary thing when you start thinking about that. If there's a disruption, but I also love this. She has an action plan of what things that you can do. Um, you know, don't buy the cheapest groceries you can find. Take a little bit of time to put a little bit more effort in there to go to the farmers markets and roadside stands and food swaps. Make a plan to increase your food budget. I think that's important. With the drought that's hitting us right now, and then with corn prices that are going to be going up, and everything else is going to be affected by that. Definitely, the average American's food budget is going to go up. One of the things is cut back on the expensive items. You know, we're lucky we can have a meat every single day, but that's not the way most civilizations live, and that's not the way they lived up until recently, or the way Americans lived up until recently, until everything got so easy and groceries got so cheap. So go take a look at that. That's definitely worth a read. Over at Preparing Your Family, orchards at remote locations, and this was something that's interesting to me. Um, Basically, they're talking about putting trees into their retreat location and using compost and using gravity-fed water tanks that are gravity-fed on a timer to make sure that they're watering their trees. And I think it's a great starting article, and I would like to see more on this. You know, definitely you can do some hugelkultur, you can do swales, and use that. I mean, they were talking about using some kind of a, you know, if you're on an incline, and apparently his retreat location, you know, has a little bit of an incline, so you can use that that gravity-fed water. But you know, what if you don't have a structure to get that rainwater, or you don't have a well built or whatever? You know, I'd like it to take a little bit more look into this, and I'd like somebody to develop it. But I think it's a good read, and it's a good start. Over at Survival Logic, they posted a video from Ozark Mountain Preparedness, and I think this group was doing a class, and I think this is one of the instructors. But they caught a rattlesnake, and they show you, they go through skinning it, talking about it, cutting off the head, skinning it, you know, waiting for all the muscles and everything to kind of die down, and all those things. But skinning it and cutting it up, or gutting it and cutting it up and cooking it even. And so it's definitely worth a look. I think anytime you see those, you have those kinds of videos, I think it's important to kind of take a look at those. So go take a look at that. The survival doctor. Let me tell you, being an educator, and I know that lice is a big deal now in the school system. It's scary, and just by listening to it, your head might start itching. It's one of those nasty reaction type things. Depending on your school nurse, is going to depend on how bad it is. The good school nurses, the ones who are active and looking and making sure that they, you know, they send the kids home. Those are the ones that you want. But it's, you know, it can be in epidemic proportions in some schools, and so you need to make sure that you're telling your kids definitely not to share hats, not to share bobby pins and combs and brushes and all that kind of stuff. He talks about checking for lice and all those good things, and the nits and the eggs. You need to look into that. How to treat lice. Man, okay, I'm gonna be bad here, but I wouldn't play around with this. I mean, in a post uh, SHTF situation, when you're gonna use the organic, you're gonna use. But right now, if this situation came up in the house, I would go and I would buy some powerful stuff to kill it, because I have dealt with this when my wife and I ran a group home for kids in CPS custody that were wards of the state. And let me tell you, when it hit a couple of times, and it cost us over $500 to spray down the couches and to wash all the clothing and to do everything that you had to do. And so we kind of became experts in it. You know, if this happened to my boys, I'd probably shave their heads, but I know that's crazy. But anyway, so go take a look at this. I think this is important, not just for, you know, as preppers, but just if you have kids going into the schools, you need to make sure that they know not to share any kind of head stuff any way around. All right, Prepper Recon. Just a quick shout out, because he talked about making your own sterno, and I did this when I was in Boy Scouts. And so basically cardboard and wax, and he melted wax here. I think I left a comment on here. I would have the cardboard just a little bit tighter than this, but I just had a big candle and I just poured the wax in there, and it worked. And I used a hobo stove and this as a sterno, and cooked bacon and ate out as a Boy Scout. So I think that's pretty cool, something to know about. All right, the guys at Dirt Time posted this video on simple Swiss fences, and I think this is Dirt Time out on the East Coast. And so this guy goes over. I can't remember exactly where he went. He shows pictures about a place that's really self-reliant, self-sufficient, and they build all these different fences just using wood and stacking them on top of each other and using them to create weight. And so I think this is pretty interesting. You need to go take a look at that, and it's very valuable. So he shows you a lot of pictures of different types, and then he runs through a small replica of what it would look like. So go check them out. Also, Dirt Time has a video where Alan and Christopher talk about bug out. It's a bug out discussion, and stems from a discussion that a woman brought up just about how to bug out. And so there's some good questions there that I think people need to consider if you're kind of new to it all. All right, urban prepper chick. Okay, smoking allowed. Urban prepper chick, get off the smokes. Okay, it is just too doggone expensive. I can't believe how much cigarettes cost nowadays. But something, when the benefits here of nicotine, and I'm just gonna say I think these benefits are not worth it. But okay, I'm gonna give it to you. But I think it's something that you need to think about, because if things go down and people can't get cigarettes, they're going to be freaking out without having any nicotine. And so this is an Indian. The Indians made this, and I just kind of like saying this. I think I'm saying it right. Kinnikinnick. All right. Wow. Okay. But anyway, she talks a little bit about how to roasting things that the Indians added to it, and making your own herbs that you can add to it. And then, so that's all kind of interesting there if you're a smoker or you know somebody who smokes. And then she talks about, about weed, marijuana. And, as a minister, as a Christian, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it might be something that you consider if you don't have medicine and you need something for pain. And, there's a lot. She's got a link here, 60 ways to use hemp. And so, I don't know. That's something that just kind of that you got to think about a little bit there. So you can go check out Urban Prepper Chick on that one. And then I have a lot of links. I mean, if you go to the website right now, you hit it right now, you're going to get about 4 or 5 links on shipping containers. And this is kind of something that I'm interested in right now. And it looks like guys over at Prepper Ideas, they posted it looks like it's from a book, and after looking at this, you can get 10 free survival ebooks, I guess, for signing up. But anyway, so it gets a lot of information there, and that, Rawls over at Survival Blog has posted two on shipping containers, and then I have a video from the Daily Prep. But anyway, so it talks about, gets into a lot of how big are we talking about. Talk about weights and containers and dimensions, purchasing, some cool pictures of some examples, right? It goes in the thing about this article is it goes deeper into some things that I haven't seen before. Moving shipping containers, and apparently these are the 20-foot, so you probably wouldn't be able to do this with a 40-foot. But something that you need to think about if you're doing a shipping container. I think this is interesting, footings or using footers. And you need to have something there to hold the weight up. And so looking into the cutting the steel, framing the interior, and then he gives you some plans and some ideas of what to do here. And so I think that's a really big option here if you have a retreat or you have something that you need to put some kind of structure on. It's cheap, and I think if I'm not mistaken, he starts off the whole article talking about how expensive lumber is. All right, so guys, that's another edition of commentary and stuff, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you take a look at some of these articles. There's always a lot more articles that are posted, and this is just a few of the articles that I'm highlighting right now. Guys, I have other prepper resources over here that you might want to take a look at on the site on the right hand side. And again, thanks so much for coming and being part of the Prepper website. God bless.